Happy Monday. For those watching, got a special guest today. If you're a Padre fan, you definitely know him. If you're a baseball fan, you probably heard of him. But please welcome me and joining on our show, the Padres blogger, aka Mark Brent. Let's go, Mark.
Let's go. Thanks, T, for having me. Appreciate you.
Bro, it's a pleasure to have you, man. Like I'm a fan of you. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, I'm a fan of you. I love your work, all the work you do in the community. I think we kind of we vibe off each other. I think we have some similarities that we don't even know about. But I see the work that you do in the community, and I can relate. And also your love for baseball and service, right? Because service the country, followed by service the community. So I love the work that you do, man. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that. I mean, let's just be honest though, man. You are looking clean when you do your work. You're out there. You're traveling the world, man. I think I saw you in Dubai. Is
Yeah,
that
Dubai. Yeah, I love that.
bro? You're a
Yeah.
beast. Man, that is unreal. Like I don't got people ask me to go into different countries to go promote the game of baseball. So you're doing something right.
Yeah, we were able to cover the first professional baseball league ever that was hosted in Dubai, in the Middle East in general. And so, when it comes to making baseball history, I love to be a part of it, right? Because that's what it's about, is bringing baseball to the global scale, right? Well, to the Middle East, to Asia, to everywhere, to where folks. I remember I had this individual, actually, he just messaged me the other day from Sudan, who didn't have a baseball glove,
Hmm.
and the importance of having a glove, and how that glove and that baseball bat, transcends so much more, right? It means so much to that individual. It just gives them an escape. It makes them feel if there's a sense of belonging when it comes to the baseball community. And so going to Dubai and experiencing that, and seeing Padre jerseys in Dubai, Tatis Machado, it just goes to show the global scale of baseball, but not only baseball as a whole, but the San Diego Padres. Folks know about the Padres worldwide, and that's because of the international flavor that we have. And I think if we're able to capitalize more on the international flavor, that's revenue. That brings in more fans, right? And so it was an amazing experience, man. And Dubai is is another level, man. Just being there and experiencing the culture and the weather, the food. It was just an awesome event to be a part of. To say that I was part of baseball history. I was there with Barry Larkin, Robinson Cano, Albert Pujols, Felix Hernandez, Adrian Beltre, Nick Swisher, the Nick Robinson Chinero. I mean, the list goes on, right? And I was literally I was able to serve as the bat boy. I said, hey, I'll shoot content, but let me be more involved. And so here's this big boy, right, running on the field, getting a bat. But I was like, this is probably the only time ever get to experience something like this, running out to grab a bat from a professional baseball player, bringing it back to the dugout. It was just whole. It made me feel whole. It brought me closer to the game. And baseball in general is almost like a coping mechanism for me,
Okay.
right? But and it's a sense of healing, a sense of community, and I loved it, man. It was just awesome to be a part of, to be in Dubai.
Well, like thank you for sharing because there's not enough time in my world at least to dissect that because whether it be the airplane ride or the bus travel, like you said, the food, the culture, there's so many touch points that we can go into. You probably should write a book about that, to be absolutely honest. Um,
You know who was
but
sitting next to me on
was
the bus? I asked him a question. I wish I got a video. It was Bartolo Colon. It was two big guys sitting on this bus, and Bartolo Colon was sitting right next to me. And I was asking him a question about baseball, and I asked him about how did it feel to hit that home run at Petco Park. And I let him know that you brought Fernando Tatis, even though he didn't. I always say
yeah.
indirectly, he brought Fernando Tatis to the San Diego Padres because of that home run. It was just awesome to be able to chop it up with these players, to talk baseball and sit side by side with Bartolo Colon. It
Yeah,
was just an awesome experience, man.
Well, yeah, I mean that's this goes to show you like the experiences, the people you meet through the game. It does matter. And my background in baseball, where I'm transcending in the front office role and the clubhouse role. Like we always tell ourselves we don't sell baseball, we sell the experiences and the memories. And you're speaking on that, man. Like on a bigger lens, And I'm so thankful that you can share that because it inspires me because it really hones in on the fact that baseball and sports really bring people together from all different parts of the world, despite our
It,
differences. And you're now taking it to a whole new level, being a part of this change or this involvement in a sense to explore what this could be like in the years coming to us. And I don't know. I think it's super cool that we get to even touch on you because, like you said, you got to be experienced being a bat boy. Well, you're talking to a former major league bat boy himself, so that means a lot to me because that's sacred. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on the field during a game. The players respect that. Take me through like you going on the field for the first time. Your adrenaline pumping. You not want to mess
oh
up.
man.
Like how was that?
So first of all, you give me goosebumps just thinking about it because the founder of the league, the day before we had a Thanksgiving dinner with all the players, and we were talking about what are you grateful for, and just be able to be in a part of the world where they've never seen baseball, to be part of that experience was just simply amazing itself. And he was like, "Man, I need a bat boy. I need bat boys," and I'm like, hey, you know me. I'll shoot. I want to be a bat boy, but I want to shoot content at the same time because you don't see that in baseball. Because I
Yeah.
think that's how we need to evolve as a game as well to bring more fans to the game. Right? We need to evolve, and to me, that's something when you look through the lens of a bat boy, you get to experience. I remember running out to grab a bat, and I had my phone on, and I was just holding it close to my chest. It was just simply just running out on that beautiful field, right? This was like grass imported from and clay and sand that was imported from different regions around the world. This was once a cricket field. It was never a baseball field. So that itself was just amazing. Was seeing the transformation of this world renowned cricket field transform into a baseball field. I That itself was just an experience. So being able to run out and grab a bat, like say Robinson Cano, or I remember Pablo Sandoval, who's now picked up by the Giants, grabbing his bat with all that stuff on. I was like, man, Pablo, I made fun. I was like, you got tar on here, but just that experience itself, like knowing that I'm in a region of the world, I'm making history by grabbing a bat. I'll never forget it, man. And being in that dugout and chopping it up with players, to me that was the biggest thing because I felt connected more to the game. Seeing how these players, how they grind on a day to day, how they approach an at bat before they get into the circle,
Mhm.
what their thoughts are. They're looking at the pitch, they're watching the pitchers. They're seeing how the bat before them goes. Then they step into the batter circle, just watching them flow and go through their swings and their motions, and then taking an AB, right? Them at the plate, and once they get a knock or they strike out, there's me running out to get a bat. I loved it, man. And again, I just think, like you said, bat boys, bat girls, bat boys. That job itself, I commend the individuals that do that because that job it entails a lot, just more than just grabbing a bat. I remember I was inspecting balls too. I didn't even know if there was these marks on the ball. They're good. You got to dump them. So I was
Mhm.
doing that. And so there's more to it. I learned so much more about the game. And I think that's how you do learn more, T, is that, you're not just out there watching. You want to do those things. Some people may think, no, I don't want to be a bat boy. I'm too good for that. No, I want to do that. That
Mhm.
to me is I want to do everything that. So just say baseball ops in general. I want to learn what the CEO does for the Padres. I want to learn all the way down to what a bat boy does, right? All
Mhm.
the way down from someone that works in the concession stands. What is it like during a baseball game? So if we're able to talk about those experiences, I think it shows you're able to tap into fans' vulnerability in general, right? Where fans feel more attached, emotionally attached to the game because they can relate and hear those experiences. So yeah, that I think that's I loved it. That's basically all I can say about that experience of being a Bat Boy. Is I'll never forget it. I'll take it to my grave,
Oh,
and
beautiful.
I can say that I was a Bat Boy for a professional baseball game.
Dude, bro, that's so beautiful, man. Because me myself, like I said, I did that for 7 years in the major league locker room for the Padres. I don't know if you knew that. And
Wow.
it was something that I never took for granted. It really felt like I had to find a way to fit in because, believe it or not, I never really played baseball. And to be in an arena of gladiators and dudes that are the best of the best, and to want to make a difference in whatever way possible, you can understand that as a person, right? Whether it be a new job or going to school or coming home to your family, you want to be valuable, you want to be an asset. And I'm so glad that you got to experience that because it puts a different perspective on the sport in general. There's so many kids, boys or girls, that want to be part of anything. And for me, I took that as an opportunity to learn. Like, well, look at me as an example. I never played the sport, but yet I'm a part of a professional baseball team. And I wanted to be a sponge. I wanted to learn from the guys what they did off the field that made them a little bit better on the field, and it translated. Just like I'm sure like in everybody else's life, it translates. Before you put that jersey on, you got to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure that you became more of a fan of those individuals on those bus ride after those bus rides, during dinners,
Yes.
these conversations. Maybe maybe because you got a chance to really get a better sense of what work and is put in behind the scenes.
Yeah,
And
just smelling the ball, the bats, the field, the Bengay, just and like I think you said it is be more emotionally attached to the players
Mhm.
because in that dugout you're able to have conversations with them. It's intimate and it doesn't have to be about baseball. Some of them we're just talking about what'd you do last night, what'd you eat last night, right?
It's
And
unreal. It's
yeah,
un it's
and
unreal with,
I
like you said, the balance of, the vulnerability. You said vulnerability because these are real people, and
yeah.
it's nerve-wracking. I mean, I remember having nerves running out there in front of 50,000 people to get a baseball bat. Could you imagine being on the in the plate, down 1 run with 2 outs in the ninth inning?
Oh
Like,
man,
golly.
it's a lot. And I think another thing is the sense of brotherhood.
Mhm.
It reminded me like say days in the military, right? Like
There you
you
go.
remember, like say you're at a fob at a combat zone, and you're with your brothers, your sisters, and you're there. There's one mission, right? Your mission, you got to accomplish that mission, and you're all there. Doesn't matter the color of your skin, your politics, your religion. You're all there for one cause, and everything is put to the side because you're one team. And it reminded me of those days where I was like, man, this is a community. This
Mhm.
is this is a team. And I think that is the team aspect, knowing that, man, just think about it, grinding 160 through for a whole year, being in a dugout, and these players are traveling everywhere, right, across the country and putting in work. And most fans, and I think that's the perspective I saw is like, man, it is a grind. It is a day to day. Yeah, you may think they're getting paid tons of dollars, but there's a lot of work that these guys put in. And not only during the season, it's during the off season that these guys are working. They don't take days. They may take a couple when the season ends, but they're back to work. They're back to working out, right? And they want to live up to their contracts. But most importantly, they want the fans of the teams they represent to be proud of them as an individual, as a player, but also as a team. And I hope fans do see that. And I want fans to know that, right? But I think that's our job is to be able to share those experiences, share those stories so we can bring fans closer to the game.
I'm glad you said that, because we are so blessed to be in our shoes to have these stories and these relationships that we've built over time, and as we get more people a part of our journey cheer on America's pastime for whatever reason. I think it does start with us in a sense to inspire others to find a different reason to root. My kids, they don't like sports as much as I do, right? And I try to tell them, different reasons to like sports or love sports because it's not always about the winning or losing. It could be more about the lessons learned or the people that sports support. Because you mentioned it, like if you really imagine like a world without sports, then man, you're looking at a whole different world as far as maybe small business owners that don't have the career paths that they have without sports, or the people then that have met their friends or their loved ones through sports. Like there's so many like tentacles that just touch sports and like our world, and I think it's a huge part of why our world is it is what it is today. And there's no secret that other countries are taking a liking to what we're doing with the entertainment sense of it. And I'm proud to have a little piece in baseball because it truly is just an opportunity to bring people together. And I hope fans get a chance to, you know, find a reason to root on their own because it doesn't have to be because you love a team. It could be a person. It could be, just your outlets or because you want to, bring family members together. There's so many different positive things that sports brings us. And the winning part of it is really the second thought in a sense, especially us as San Diego fans.
Yeah, and it's like you said, the players, right? Not only being emotionally attached to the team, but also the players. They could be a young prospect coming up with the Padres, like say like a James Wood,
Yeah.
who I'm still going to support all the way through because of the things I know about that individual, because of the attachment, because me as a fan, I took the time to understand who he or she is, right? And it just there's just that attachment. It's just like no other. And so, it's not only baseball, it's sports. Baseball to me is the best sport in general.
Uh,
Um, but it just, it's a sense of pride. Like you said, I have an SD tat right here in my arm, right? I love my city. I love what it's about. I love SD. I'm always loyal to the soil, right? Always. And it's a sense of pride where this is my village and it's all of us in this village together, right? And baseball brings us together as a game, where just say opening day is coming up next month. I can't wait, man. I can't wait to see San Diego come together as one because of this sport, this one game on opening day where folks are just like, I don't care. Like I said, everything is put to the side. We know we love our Padres and we're there for that cause. And yeah, man, and that's what we need to do. It's not only, we need to bring more young folks to the game, right? And through that, that's how we use platforms such as social media, whether it's Instagram or Twitter or TikTok. We use those platforms to be able to cultivate a community and bring younger generations in to see this sport through a different lens, right? And bring them closer. And that's why I love social media, using social media as a force to educate baseball fans, to bring fans closer to the game, to connect them to information they had no clue about. It could be something as simple as I didn't know that they had tickets for exhibition games. I didn't know they had these things going on during Fan Fest. I didn't know that this store was selling this new satin jacket that I wanted. So those type of things. How do we bring that information to fans? And I think social media as a me, that's how we do it. That's how we adapt because even like say sports radio, podcasts, newspapers, journalists, they're having to adapt in 2024 and they're having to use social media. And yeah, I just again, there's so much we can do with it. And just like this today, right? We're having an honest discussion about baseball, but also it's an honest discussion about community, getting to know each other. And folks that are tapping in and watching now, you're getting to know more about me. You're getting to know more about T and Serve Marketing, like the things they do in the community. And I know I see you guys do a lot of things in the community, like your pickleball events,
yeah.
which I want to know more about.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, man, I just, I'm glad that we can have these conversations because you're right. You hit it on the nose. And as a baseball fan myself, I've adapted, because I have a very unusual path in the sport. I started out in the big league locker room where I grew emotionally attached to these players, especially the Padre players, obviously. And then I went down to the minor league route where I fell in love with the minor league grind. And now it's starting to come together, especially with the social media and the dots connecting, where there's more accessibility to get to know the farm system. Because back in the day, at least what I can speak on, like back in 2003, it was only like a once a week a clip that you would see about the guys at the Storm Stadium or the guys in Double A or Triple A at that. But now it's like, some of these minor league prospects like the Ethan Salases and the Jackson Merrills, the James Woods, all these guys you're mentioning, they're right there. They're knocking at the door as far as like, hey, like we have just as much exposure, if not more, than some of the current guys on that big league roster, because there's a growing audience in the country that's starting to understand that if they truly like their big league team, they better start paying attention to those young kids that are not too far away from making a big difference at that major league level, as we can see today. I mean, I saw you posted a couple of highlights of Ethan getting his first big league spring training hit, right? Um, and like I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. Like for me, like I am not surprised. I'm like I watched that kid play at the professional level. There's no doubt he's going to be doing it at the high level.
Even like a Jackson Merrill, right? Not surprised either. And folks are surprised about his work on the field, right? But also they're starting to see the things he's doing off the field. And that needs exposure. This is a
Yeah.
man, Jackson Merrill, who does things off the field that people don't see. He doesn't do it to get recognition.
Hmm.
I could message him or call him and say, "Hey Jackson, can you send me a DM with a video of you saying, let's do it?" Like last year, for example, we did a watch party and I had Jackson create this video for me, just like hyping up Padre fans. He doesn't say no. He would say yes because of the cause. It was for the community.
He,
And
he's
and to,
he's a beast, man. You're right. He's a beast.
he's a and like no other. And that's the type of exposure I want baseball fans to see, that side. Because if
Hmm.
you're able to see that side of a player, it's beyond stats. It's beyond what they do on the field. You're able to be more attached to them because you can, man, that guy has a heart. He wants to do a solid for the community. He's not he's more than just a bag. This man loves baseball, but he loves doing things for his community back home, back east, but also in San Diego, right? Also, whatever, a minor league affiliate team he's with. And that's the side I want fans to see. But yeah, young baseball players these days have a platform that they can use. Like that, you say 2003 wasn't just long. That's not even long ago if you think about it,
Yeah.
right? But you're right. We were at Qualcomm with programs.
Yeah.
We didn't have a phone. There would be programs that were sold,
Hmm.
and it was digital. It was just a read where I couldn't watch a video. We were less attached. I mean, we are detached a little bit, right? It was just reading. It was a photo. Now we have videos where we're able to watch something, a 15-minute clip on someone about what they do on and off the field when it comes to baseball. But it's
Do you see?
definitely changed, T.
Do you feel like there's a little pressure on these organizations now because like now everybody has a voice and more like in a sense of like why is it so and so in the big leagues? Because again, back in the day, they could kind of stash them away. Only the certain people like scouts and GMs knew what they had in the in the talent pool. But nowadays, there are a lot of people that have expert opinions. And I mean, do you feel like there's a little pressure out there now for some teams to maybe get their guys going?
Oh yeah, because it's not only coming from like the big networks that cover baseball, it's coming from fans like us or just regular baseball fans that can get on a Twitter and have an opinion about a baseball player and post a video about something that happened or they're doing. And from there, baseball players, the younger generation, they are on social media. So they are watching these videos. And I would say it might put a bit more pressure on them, but professionals such as the Ethan Salas and Jackson Merrill, James Wood, they love it. They thrive on it, right?
Yeah.
They they're just on a different level, man. And I'm so excited for someone like Jackson, Ethan. These guys are going to be staples in the Padres organization for more than a decade. I mean, Ethan, you think about it, it could be almost 2 decades, maybe. 17 years old, 20 years from now, it's only 37. 37. That's crazy. Man, and I'm still, oh man, I'm thinking about that. I'm like, man, I'm old. But I think there is a bit more pressure on players these days, I would say, because of social media.
Well, you hit it on the nose because, being around those young men, they're different breeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're different cats that just get it, and either get it or you don't. So I definitely have to agree with you on that. Like, they have a bright future ahead of them. I'm so glad that I crossed paths with those young men. Take me through your journeyhood as far as a Padre fan. When did it start for you? And how to become more of a part of your life? You touched that you're in the military. Please, like, give me a little bit of background, please.
Yeah, so my as always, usually it's our father, right? Father and mother figure that brings us closer to the game or to the game of baseball. And in this sense, my father brought me to the game of baseball. He taught me a lot about life. He taught me, how to be a good person. He brought me to the Padres. And my dad's forever my Padre, right? And so, growing up in San Diego, my father I was instilled in a military family. My father, I was raised in Southeast San Diego, went to Gompers, and through Gompers right there, I mean, Gompers, that teaches you, that's just a whole different, throughout your maturation process in life, there's things you pick up where you're like, in that moment, you may not think about it. You may think, you're learning something. And years from now, you're gonna be like, holy crap, there's a reason why I went through that. Or there's a reason why who I am today is because of that community I come from. Southeast is a community I'll never forget. It's made me who I am today because of those experiences, because of the culture, because of my teachers, because of the community, the churches, everything. It molded me to who I am as a person. And so my father would bring me to games. We would go to Qualcomm. And these are experiences, when we talk about baseball fans, these are experiences as a Padre fan I love talking about because, and this goes, of course, this is my generation, right? Same generation, where I'm able to talk about my days during the glory days, I would say during the 90s, right? I'm an 80s baby, but during the 90s, I remember being at a bowling alley when Chris Gwynn hit that double off the field right up there, up north at Dodger Stadium where we won the NOS, right? I was at a bowling alley watching it. I was like, holy shit, right? We won the West. Then 98, going to the World Series, clinching. I remember waiting around Qualcomm Stadium for hours because it was a lottery system to get World Series tickets. We got Game 5, but we got swept. But, it's an experience I'll never forget. I remember I was in 7th grade, and Mr. Talavera, I'll never forget, it was a Spanish class, and I was cheating on my Spanish test while the Padres are playing the Braves. But my Spanish teacher didn't care because he was a diehard Padres fan. I had someone holding up cards in the back where I had to read a phrase in Spanish, and I knew he saw it, but I was reading it like I wanted to get out of here because I wanted to watch my Padres that day, and I knew he did too. But these are experiences I'll never forget. And so my dad brought me to the game, and as a fan, I followed him all the way through and through, man. Padres to me, it's much more than baseball, because I lost my father during COVID. I lost my father, I lost my half sister, I lost my grandfather, I lost my aunt, all during COVID. And that's what kind of sparked me creating this page. Mm-hmm. So this ties into this. I'm glad we're talking about it. Because I needed an outlet, T. Remember back in the days we were talking about during the 90s or 80s or early 2000s, we didn't have the technology we have today. Mm-hmm. And I regret taking more photos with my father or VHS cassette players where they would have the recorder. I remember I would shy away from that. Today, I wish I had that, man, because those experiences and document those experiences are important, and I'll never be able to get that back. And so I needed an outlet, and I said, you know what, I'm going to document from here on out my experiences as a Padres fan, because the Padres are dearly my coping mechanism to help that helped me deal with loss, whether it was loss from military, whether it was loss from my family, my upbringing, through work and social services. There's a lot of different things, but baseball would always kind of keep me whole, would keep me sane up here, man. And so created the page. And when I first created the page, it was just more of like just documenting my experiences as a fan, and going to the game with my daughter and my kids, and that was it. And from there, it just took it was a whole new level where I started to see. I was like, it's when you're social media, it's much more than just a post. It's you building a community. It's you responding to a comment. It's you responding to a DM that someone sent. Even if you think, why did they ask that question? Well, I'm going to answer back because I want them to know that they're being heard.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you're able to cultivate a community unlike no other of like-minded folks that love the Padres. And from there, we just built 1,000, 2,000. Like, holy crap. It just keep going. Never bought one follower, never paid for one advertisement on the page. Everything organic from the beginning, from day one. And now it's the largest Padres fan page across all social media platforms. And it's not only on Instagram, we're on every platform. And so I'm just truly blessed for what it's become, because it's literally cultivated community where I have people that have met new Padre fans because of the page, right? Like for example, last year, like this year, opening day, we're going to do an opening day watch party, and we're all going to the stadium as well for the game. But these are folks that a lot of we met the last couple of years who never knew each other. They never knew each other. We just started chats and group chats and threads, and from there it sparked friendships where now they're besties and best friends because of this Padres community, and it's only growing, and that's what I love about it, because it's much more than baseball. It's a sense of pride. It's all of us coming together for our love for the Padres, but more than the Padres, our love for San Diego. And I'm proud of what it's become, man.
Awesome, bro. That's a beautiful testimony, man. I'm so thankful to hear that, man, because it resonates. It resonates with a little bit with my background and what my beliefs are, and I can feel it. And that's why I've been such a huge fan of yours. You have so much more to give the sport, and the sport has so much more to give to you. And I know I'm excited to see your journey as it grows. Learning more about you today has been a blessing. Sharing a little bit about myself, I'm just thankful for. We actually started, me and my best friend 7 years ago. We started a nonprofit. I was trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my opportunities. Right? I was like, what am I going to do with all these blessings and these resources? So we started a nonprofit called Strike Out for a Cause, and it's on the bottom right hand screen. Right, it's like it's a little opportunity where me and my friends and whatever players and people want to join us in our efforts to give back through sports. We focus on underserved families, but we also have a small but special place in our hearts for military families. And my mom and my dad both have served in the Navy, which kind of brought me born and raised in San Diego myself. But I think that's where we vibe, man, because we have that servant mentality. You know what I'm saying? And our parents and our San Diego upbringing is our privilege, and we know it. And I'm again thankful to consider you a brother, where we can join forces in our communities and bring people together through sports, and continue to bless people, man, and love on people, and share whatever resources we have, because it truly can make a difference in someone's life. Whether they meet their very first pro athlete, or maybe their first baseball game, or maybe just something that they didn't know that could change their mind about someone. It's important for us to shape this world to make it a better place with whatever we can. And I am beyond honored, bro, to have you and continue to vibe with you, because I know we've been trying to get this going for a minute, but things have been happening in our lives, and it's been truly an honor, man. And I don't know, man. I can't wait to serve you, bro, because I'm a big staple in minor league baseball, and with my time with the Storm, I have plenty of swag that I can't wait to share with you, because that's part of the extension of the Padres. If people don't know that, if Padre fans are listening, the Lake Elsinore Storm are your Class A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. So at some point, there's a good chance that some of those current players have touched paths or have touched the grass not too far down the street over at the Diamond Stadium. And I can't wait to play host, whether it be there or another minor league baseball facility. But at the end of the day, it's to play host and be able to serve those who serve others. But man,
Love it.
you are a blessing, bro.
I love that, man. I always say that too. Is giving back is I think is the main thing. It's much more when you're able to give back to a kid that has never experienced a baseball game. That is unlike no other. Like I had Fernando Tatis send out baseball jerseys to baseball fans that had no clue. Kids who are diehard fans, and the power of social media allowed me to contact a player such as Fernando Tatis, and he agreed to send baseball jerseys signed to kids across San Diego, which we've delivered. Not only him, other players as well. Well, say a Manny Machado, we connected a kid all the way from Florida who was a diehard Manny Machado fan, and because Machado saw that video posted on social media, that kid became his biggest fan and was able to see Machado when he went to Florida get the whole batting experience, right? Autograph, ball, everything, and it changed that kid's life. He was on Good Morning America because of a simple post we made on social media that attracted millions of views because of one post. And that just shows you the power of social media and bringing these young folks to the game. That is my driving force. Is giving back. I can care less about the stats and this and that. I'm always going to support my Padres through and through. But when we're able to make an impact like that, that's everlasting, where a young child is now a diehard Padres fan because of that one experience, and not only a Padres fan, a player's fan because of that player. That's life-changing, and we need to do more of it. Not only us, the community as a whole. And I think that's what I challenge folks to do, is doing more, not because you expect something in return, doing more because it's the right thing. Doing more because that is community. That is what we're supposed to be doing. And also organizations following suit, such as the Padres. Let's do more for the community. Let's give back more. And it's simple. It's simple. Folks are willing to collaborate and donate money. Money should never be an issue, because if we're able to come together, we put like-minded minds together, we put our efforts together, it's a driving force that's impactful, that can create change like no other. And from there, you build this community of Padre fans that are going to be there, from birth till they're 6 feet under. And I think that's the ultimate goal of just say Padres blogger is more. It's never an I. It's a we thing, T, right? Collectively. And now after this conversation, me and you, now we have this partnership, this friendship that we're able to build on and do more. And if we do that collectively, we build upon each other. Because there should never be a gatekeeper. It should be everyone working, collaborating in the spirit of love to do more and transform the game of baseball, because that's the right thing to do.
Amen, bro. I mean, I'm glad you're saying that, because that's kind of where I'm at personally in my career. I've latched on to the organizations, obviously with the Padres and the Storm, for over 21 plus years, and I've been able to learn a lot. I'm saying, a lot, from the business standpoint to the baseball standpoint. And it's really motivated me to start my own thing with the Serve First Sports Marketing. Serve First is just a vehicle that we can get in, we can jump in there and really start knocking on doors to hold like-minded businesses and organizations accountable to join us in our efforts and our missions to make a difference, using sports as a platform. And I'm beyond thankful that, it's allowed us to be here together, because I owe it to myself. I owe it to my family for all the times, we put into this game, to really create a legacy where our kids, their kids, can look back and say, like, wow, like, sports is cool for different reasons,
I love that, man. Your energy is like no other, man. And I'm hoping that folks that watch this, they're just inspired after, right? Because
Well,
they understand after this conversation, it's bigger than baseball.
it's
It's
always been,
doing.
man. Because like, you think about it, like we have two people on the screen with very similar but yet different backgrounds. You know, I went to Kearney High School. What high school did you go to?
Gompers all the way 7th through 12th.
Gompers, bro. Like I can't even speak on that. I'm a Kearney head. You know, like um, and at the end of the day, like our differences are what brought us together because you said loyal to your soil. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a sense of pride, there's a sense of civic pride that our parents had installed in us. And again, that's part of our privilege. And we can identify that, and yet we need to embrace that and share that with as many people as possible. So then that way, despite the drama or the egos, we can just do our part to make this world a better place.
Yeah, man. And then having folks from the community that reflect the community and that look like the community is important. And we need
Well,
more of that.
man,
Diversity itself in baseball is needed. And I think we need to do a better job of that, to be honest with you. But that's, again, that's what our job is, right? Is to build that community, that sense of pride, and to educate folks and speak on it, and not be afraid to speak on it
hmm
because it's the right thing to do. Challenging systems, right? Challenging baseball, challenging organizations to do better, to represent their communities that reflect what the community looks like.
I mean,
Um,
I love that. I'm proud. I'm proud. I'm so proud that you said that because the game is on its way. We're really. I see us doing this job as far as tapping into these underserved communities. Giving these kids and young parents reasons to want to explore the sport, and and people like you and I will continue to give other reasons. We're going to be doing the reading programs. We're going to be bringing out other pro athletes to other sports to show the cohesiveness, to show the humility, because we don't want to stop someone from pursuing a dream because they don't think they're good at something. We want that to just inspire them to be motivated to do their very best because they never know where that can lead them. I want to see
mhm.
more minority athletic trainers. I want to see more minority GMs. I want to see more minority clubhouse managers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see
Yes.
more people that have so many unique and rich backgrounds to bleed into our sport. That's not going to go anywhere soon.
Yes, man. Front office personnel, folks talking about baseball, right? And not only when it comes more women
Oh,
involved in the game of baseball. And that's how you bring people to the game. It's
yeah.
awesome, man. I love what you're doing.
I love what you're doing. We got this, man. Like,
Pickleball. I need to go. I need to be out. Come out to a pickleball. I got into that sport lately, man. I there's
good.
this new pickleball. Yeah, there's this new pickleball that opened up here in Spring Valley.
I'm there,
State of
bro.
the art courts, brand new. There's like 12 courts. They got like bonfire pits. They got like a restaurant and bar at
Bro,
the
Mark,
pickleball
I'm
courts.
telling you now, right now, I'm telling you, you give me the name of the contact, you do your magic. I'll bring you and I will bring some Padre players to these games. We've already done it before. Like,
Let's
let's
do
do
it.
something in Spring Valley. Let's give back to the YMCA over down
All
there.
right.
Like, that's on us. Like, that is literally on you and me. Like, there's no excuses.
All right. So here we go. We got on record. Call to action. We are going to bring folks from the Padres, folks from the community to the game of pickleball. We'll chop it up playing pickleball for a good cause, right? And
Spring Valley, bro. We're gonna go to Spring Valley, dude. Come on, let's go.
yeah, from the valley to the bay, from the valley. Hey, that's a Ryan Anthony, man.
Well, I mean, and what's the name? Musgrove's not too far from there. He's from East County. He'd be cool about that.
Yeah, no, and these players would love to support things like that, and I think they want to do things like that.
I think so
Um,
too. I think so too. We have a great little niche, market here with what we do. It's just a matter of us doing the legwork. You have my word. There's nothing else for me to hide. This is my full time job. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm committing myself to the game of baseball, to the game of really sports in general, to use my network and use my skill sets to use sports to bring people together. and really hone in on these community enrichment and inclusion events, right? And that's really where it's at, bringing people together despite our differences. And whether it be during a baseball game or during a pickleball charity event, it really doesn't matter, especially if you have the like-mindedness and the right heart's a part of it.
All right, let's do it. That's our call to action. Y'all
All
heard
right.
it.
I think we got some viewer questions here. What we got here, Nolan? Seeing what we got. Okay, who's your favorite player for 2024?
Oh, well, I'm going to be honest with you. I know for sure Jackson Merrill is going to be on the opening day roster for the Padres.
Woo!
That is my hot take. And actually, I'm going to Korea with my
Okay.
wife.
Dang.
We're going to Korea, and we already got our flights, our hotels. Didn't get game tickets yet because it's sold out. They only sold it to folks in the Korean market. Understandable. They want to bring folks from Korea. It's only 17,000 seat stadium.
You need 2 tickets.
New 2 tickets, yeah.
We're gonna put some phone calls out there.
Yeah, whatever. I'll be there, man. I'll be there. And if I'm not in the stadium, I'll be at a karaoke bar drinking soju.
Bro, you're gonna be at the game, dog. You're gonna be at the game. You're gonna be.
I want to be there, man.
I'm gonna do whatever I can.
And that's the thing is that we need to be able. That content is what folks want to see. Is content from South Korea, right? Of what it's like to travel on a plane, what it's like to be in a ballpark in South Korea, what it's like to walk the streets of South Korea with Padres merchandise, talking with Korean fans about baseball. What better way? But I'm going to be there in general. But my player, my favorite player, I'm hoping that the new player, if that's what you're trying to say, coming on 2024 on the opening day roster will be Jackson Merrill. But also, I love the return that we received from the Juan Soto trade. Michael King, Randy Vasquez, Johnny Brito, Kyle, like these individuals, and Drew Thorpe. These individuals are game changers. You receive 5 major league players for one. Juan Soto, we know, is generational talent. Mm-hmm. Juan Soto's generational talent. I don't think he was ever going to resign here to begin with. So the Padres did the right thing. But I'm excited for these pitches we received from New York and Jackson Merrill.
Nice. Opening
day prediction. Well, shoot. Well, if you're talking about Padres in San Diego, we're talking about teams. Well, I'm already going to call it. The Padres are going to take the first 2 in Korea against the Dodgers. If not, hey, memo, was that? Did you get the memo? I'm downing a whole bottle of soju on IG Live just for you, buddy. All right. So I'll go on IG Live. If we lose the first game, the first night, I'm going to buy a whole bottle of soju. I'm going to drink it right there in front of you. But that's my prediction. But I'm predicting Jackson Merrill will make that opening day roster. And a pitcher, I'm thinking Joe Musgrove will be that opener, or Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish would be amazing just because it's the Asian market, right? And that's what we're trying to do, is promote baseball in Asia. And there's going to be fans flocking from Japan to South Korea. But yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be Joe though for opening day. Any thoughts on Musgrove so far? It's preseason. He's working out his pitches. Look what he did today. He hit the first outing. It was rough. He came in today. His first inning was rough, but he was like, "Let me come back out there in a second," because that's what you can do in spring training. Is that you can pull a pitcher and have him come back the next inning, and they did that today. And the second inning, Joe had a great inning. So I have no issues with Joe. Joe is a grinder, and he's one of the hardest working individuals on the Padres pitching staff. He's actually the glue. He brings everyone together. And he did these events during the offseason where he brought the pitchers and catchers. And these are not only major league folks on the major league roster. He brought in minor league, right? He brought in Ethan Salas. He brought in a lot of like a Drew Thorpe. He brought in the new folks from New York to come to San Diego. They're on a boat cruise, bonfires. Joe Musgrove is a leader, man. I love that guy.
He's a beast. San Diego born and raised, man.
TT, there's a question for you.
Who does TT want to see as X-Storm make it to the show? As an X-Storm, like a former Storm player? I mean, we talk about them all. I mean, every year I fall in love with these new guys, man. Like every year, man, it's like having a new family. The young kids that are just ready to go, and whether they're with the Padres or not, we say James Wood, and like James Wood is one of those players that I feel is generational, man. He has that genetics. He has the family. He's just a great spirit and someone that like the whole team that's gravitated towards without him saying one word, man. And I look forward to seeing James Wood make it, and also like like yeah, I mean for me personally, James Wood, man, put it out there.
And about James Wood, it tells a lot about a person when you have former players, Padres in the minor league system that are like rooting for him hard. That just goes to show you the type of individual James Wood is, and also family members
Hmm.
of players that love James Wood. Um, that guy, like you said, he is a top 10 prospect, generational talent that only comes along like what every decade, like this guy is raking balls. He already has 2 home runs, right, in his first 2 games.
Bro, I don't have to. I just from what I saw in my small time with him and what I've seen come through that locker room through my time, he has it, man. He has it.
T, who do you think? Like, what are your thoughts on Jackson Merrill and Ethan Salas, or them coming up through the Padres system? Like, what did you see on a day to day, and what was their character like
So
off the
like
baseball field?
okay, so I'll start with Jackson. Okay, so Jackson, like he is a workhorse and a half. He has that covert like soldier mentality where he don't miss. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't miss. You tell him what the rules are, you tell him what the analytics are, he won't miss. Like he has everything that any superstar athlete would need to have in order to pass a test, but then he's going to take it upon himself with his natural instincts and his this natural abilities to take it to a whole new level. And he never turns it off. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like those moments we have as human beings, because when he's at the field, he's locked in, and that's something that as a young man is not easy to incorporate in your young professional career. So like a Jackson Merrill, like I'm older, I'm way older, so I'm 38 years old, and seeing that from a 20 year old, 19-year old, my hats go off to these young men because I only know so much in my young life, and I real recognizes real. At the end of the day, Jackson Merrill had this professional, true approach to the game and life because he knew he knew it meant something, as far as the life and the game. Ethan, oh my God, Ethan, he's just a kid, man, and he's just like loving life, and he's a true testimony of what hard work really does. He doesn't take any days off from what I saw regarding, oh, I don't feel like playing today, or I don't feel like giving my all. This guy is harder than himself than anybody would ever be at the same age or at their same rank, because he truly knows his potential. And it's fun to see him succeed. It's funny to see him fail because when he fails, it's like he went 1 for 3, like, and he's a young man that has a tremendous family and support system, and the Padres are truly blessed to have him as one of their future superstars in the making. And not to mention they have a pretty good catcher right now in Luis Camposano, and I'm a big
Yeah.
fan of Campy. Campy's a former Storm player, and he seems to be piecing things together, and he's pretty strong himself.
With his
Um,
new batting stance, I like he opened up a bit. I like it.
yeah, he knows what he's doing, so I wouldn't be surprised if Campy goes off on a great year and kind of like does what he has to do to kind of remind people that he's a beast himself.
So basically, at the catcher position, we're set basically for the next 2 decades. if Ethan Salas plays until he's 37, right?
I mean, if that's yeah. At the end of the day, man, the Padres have a gift. They know how to find talent, and
Yeah.
and it's another big part of the business that we don't get to share much with. There's so many people behind the scenes that are addicted. They're addicted to like what they do. They love what they do with a passion, And it's a true testament to the skill set that everybody possesses in that organization. Like everyone has a pivotal role in order to make that boat or that ship go that direction. And being a part of it since the age of 17, truly honored to just meet so many people that continue to make this game and the Padres the team it is today, man.
Man, like I said, T is a day one. Like you're a day one, dude.
I
Like
mean,
beyond, like you're in the trenches in the clubhouse, like being able to share those stories is impactful because you're able to see it and respect, the amount of work these individuals put in. Like an AJ Preller, that dude don't sleep.
I
Like
mean,
that.
AJ, I mean, those guys are machines, man. I got a chance to play basketball with him one time, right? And there's a presence that he has because of what he possesses, man, and he possesses a lot of this knowledge and charisma, and more importantly, like I think this like gratitude towards the sport and what he can do with it. And
Mm,
I just don't know like how much I can really speak on it because I'm a small piece of it, where I'm in the service industry again. I'm the clubhouse manager, I'm the clubby. And clubbies are disposable, in the world that we live in. You can replace somebody in a heartbeat. And what Trevor Hoffman told me when I was 17, he's like, Terrence, the game will go on with or without you. And I was like,
mm.
Trevor Hoffman told me that. And he said that because he said, Terrence, there's me a day where the game goes on without me. And I was like, yeah, right, Trevor. Yeah, right. And that's 20 years later, and he's a Hall of Famer, but the game does continue to go on with or without us. And it's a humbling moment to be a part of every day because from what I hear from the players, it's not as hard to make it to the big leagues. It's hard to stay in the big leagues.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, someone wants your job, and that's from all aspects, I believe. Whether you're a trainer, whether you're a clubby, whether you're a bat boy, whether you're a GM, somebody wants your job because at the end of the day, you're living somebody's dream. And I know
Yeah.
my dad reminds me every day. He's like, "Clarence, someone prays for your problems." I'm like, "What?"
That's true though.
Yeah. So,
But again, that's just you when you reflect on it, something to be grateful about.
mhm,
And we groom our next. Leadership in general. We know that individual wants our job. I may tell them, "You're not going to get my job, young man, but I want you to compete because I
mhm.
want you to take my job." That's a culture. We're able to cultivate a culture like that. That's contagious because you just have hungry folks in a clubhouse at your office that want to do good because they want to be at the table. They want to eat too.
Yeah, they do.
All right, they want to be able to eat and chop it up with folks. But yeah, that's awesome that you're able to share that, man. I love hearing those things.
Well, that'll be one of many, man. We got to do this. We got to do this
Yeah.
again. I know we're about at our time as far as what we usually do for a show, and there's plenty of more for us to catch up with and talk to. I know we're gonna have to hold each other accountable for this pickleball event in Spring Valley, which I'm gonna be
Yes.
excited for. I play with my sister, so like I'm gonna get better every weekend. But it
It's
was
fun,
truly
man.
it was truly special, man, to link up with you. And please, by any means, if there's anything that I or we can do on our end to serve or share whatever resources I may have, please don't hesitate to ask. I know I have some stuff for you. I plan on personally bringing that down to you now. Um, and now I want to obviously do my best to maybe see if we can make this 2 tickets possible for you going to South Korea, bro. Because
Oh man, if you do that, that's a game changer right there.
well, yeah, I can tap in and see my homies, see what we
Yeah.
can do because at the end of the day, I know the players might get like a couple tickets for the game, and we have some friends in that circle, and I know that you're gonna be serving with us, so I can spin it where, hey man, this guy's joining us in our charitable efforts. The least we can do is give back to one of our veterans, so strike up for a cause.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you again. Again, this conversation was awesome. It was organic, man. I got to know a lot, just a lot about you and what you do and what you guys just to do, get back to the community. That's my driving force, man. And now just to hear now that that's what you're about, and the things you do with the Storm, I'm all about it. And yeah, hold me accountable. I'll hold you accountable. If we can get a pickleball court, pickleball event to Spring Valley for a good cause with Padres personnel, players, whoever, that's going to bring people together, man, for a good cause. Let's do it.
Well, if you're going to strike out in life, it better be for a good cause. So let's do it. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's not put too much pressure on ourselves. Let's live every day like it's our last, because one day you might be right, Sean McCall. But I think we're all good here. My guy, Mark.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, my man. Let's go!
Padre fans, you heard it right here. LFG, baby. 2-0. Thank you so much for joining us. I had a blast catching up with one of the best, biggest, and most passionate Padre fans out there. Respect to him and his family. Thank you for serving those who serve others as we continue to make this world a better place. We'll tune in, I don't know, maybe next week. Hope you guys have a good night.